I've been all over this world. With all the things that I've seen.
Michael B. Jordan spills secrets about the sinners that make this 2025 blockbuster a cinematic masterpiece. From Ryan Coogler's direction to hidden symbolism, Michael B. Jordan reveals every detail that makes The Sinners unforgettable. And this is where it gets really wild. Michael B. Jordan doesn't just play one character. He plays twins, Stack and Smoke, two completely different people, but both carried with them this insane depth that makes you forget it's the same actor. Stack, always in red, always smiling, with this energy that just draws you in. Smoke, blue, brooding, almost haunted, rarely a smile. Every look feels like a storm waiting to break. Michael's obsession with getting the little details right shines through. You can literally tell when he's in character. Just a tilt of the head, a subtle shrug, or a flash of emotion. And here's the kicker, he didn't do it alone. Real-life twins, Noah and Logan Miller, were brought in as consultants. Michael studied their mannerisms, the way they interact, and their almost telepathic connection. Phones shared, jokes finished mid-sentence, that weird twin rhythm you never think about until you see it. And it works. It's flawless. Plus, you can feel Chadwick Boseman's shadow over the whole thing. Michael talks about how Ryan reminded him of Chadwick's dedication back on Black Panther. He channeled that same energy, that emotional honesty, into both twins. Every scene, every subtle glance feels like a quiet tribute, and it hits hard. And here's where it gets even more fascinating. Ryan Coogler is steering the ship, and you can feel his fingerprints everywhere. The man has this rare ability to blend culture, music, and supernatural horror without it ever feeling forced. Michael, Ryan, and Chadwick go way back to Black Panther, and you can see how Chadwick's influence lingers. Ryan encouraged Michael to dig deep, to lean into the emotional core. And the result? Pure cinematic electricity. Ryan's vision isn't just about scares or visuals. It's about layering meaning. Music isn't background, it's narrative. Vampires aren't just monsters, they're metaphors. Every frame has intent, and Michael's performance dances perfectly in that vision. Watching it unfold, you get the sense that nothing was accidental. Every color, every shadow, every glance is carefully designed to hit you emotionally. And now, let's talk about something that really hits you once you notice it. Sammy's guitar. This isn't just a prop to look cool on screen, it's a legend. Michael B. Jordan points out that it once belonged to Charlie Patton, the father of Delta blues. That alone gives the guitar weight, but Ryan Coogler doesn't stop there. Every time you see Sammy strumming, you're not just hearing music, you're feeling history. The film connects generations of black music in some of the most visually stunning ways. One scene, two dancers from the 1930s spinning through the frame. Cut to DJs dropping records. Then a George Clinton-style electric guitarist lighting up the room. It's like music itself is telling a story across time. The guitar symbolizes more than culture. It's power, healing, and even danger. It carries the legacy of black music, its struggles, and its triumphs. And you can feel the tension because the music draws attention, and not everyone wants its power to stay free. Have you ever thought about how an object could carry so much story in one scene? Here, it really does. But wait, it gets way more intense. The vampires and the sinners aren't your average horror fodder. No cheap scares here. Michael and Ryan explain that the vampires actually represent white people drawn to the power of black culture. The head vampire, Remick, offers this deal. Give us Sammy, and the rest of the town can live. But the real target is the music itself. It's not just a gimmick. It's a metaphor for colonization, cultural exploitation, and appropriation. You feel the danger creeping in right after the musical sequences, which is genius. The energy shifts from celebration to horror, mirroring how culture can be stolen and commodified. And the way Ryan Coogler stages it is brilliant. Horror elements, garlic, stakes, shadows, blend seamlessly with music and culture. The audience doesn't just watch the twins struggle. You feel the tension of generations of exploitation layered into the horror. By the time the vampires strike, you're not just scared, you're unsettled because you understand what they really symbolize. It's chilling, And yet, it elevates the story to something far more meaningful than your typical supernatural flick. And just when you think the tension can't get higher, enter the sawmill. Early in the film, Smoke and Stack buy this old building from a white landowner. Seems simple, right? But Ryan Coogler loads it with history. The sawmill isn't just a business. It was once a killing floor where countless black lives were taken by white supremacists. The subtle details are what make it hit hard. A bloodstain noticed early in the film is a whisper of the past that hints at the building's dark legacy. And later, when the vampires show up, the sawmill becomes a symbol of a second wave of violence. History is repeating, and exploitation is returning in a new, supernatural form. Watching the twins navigate that space, you can almost feel the weight of every injustice etched into the walls. Michael B. Jordan carries that weight in his performance, balancing fear, resolve, and the ghosts of history. The sawmill isn't just a backdrop, it's a character in itself. You can almost hear the echoes of those who suffered there, and it makes every confrontation in that space pulse with tension. And here's a moment that really makes you stop and think. The church. The movie literally begins and ends there, and it's loaded with meaning. It's a place of faith, of community, but also a place of judgment. Sammy's father calls him a sinner for loving the blues, and suddenly, you feel that tension between spiritual devotion and artistic freedom. Ryan Coogler doesn't shy away from showing this conflict. He respects the church, but he also refuses to let black music be shackled by it. Every shot and every dialogue in these scenes pushes that idea home. The way Michael carries the weight of that judgment, his posture, his glance, the barely there flinch, it's subtle but powerful. You can feel the struggle between honoring tradition and claiming your own voice. And by the end, the church isn't just a building, it's a symbol of both oppression and salvation, depending on how you interpret it. But wait, let's get back to the twins, because this part is just too cool to skip. Michael B. Jordan is obsessed with exploring every nuance between Stack and Smoke. He doesn't just rely on costume or color, he dives into expressions, posture, and even the tiniest gestures. Stack in red, smiling more, Smoke in blue, brooding. It's such a simple visual cue, but it works perfectly for the audience. And the fun part? The real-life twin consultants, Noah and Logan Miller, added layers Michael couldn't have imagined on his own. The twins share this almost telepathic rhythm, and Michael studied it. How they finish each other's sentences, how they joke, and how they occupy a room together. That authenticity translates on screen. You almost forget it's the same actor playing both. Every scene with the twins feels alive, connected, and honestly, kind of magical. And here's something that hits you on a deeper level. The music. The blues isn't just background noise in The Sinners, it's the heartbeat of the story. Every scene, whether it's the twins hustling in the Mississippi Delta or facing the vampires, pulses with this musical energy. Ryan Coogler weaves past and present together through sound. You see a 1930s dancer spinning, cut to a modern DJ scratching records, and cut to an electrified blues guitar lighting up the room. That continuity doesn't just set mood. It tells a story of resilience, cultural memory, and survival. You feel the weight of history and the thrill of the present at the same time. It's subtle, but you notice how music guides your emotions, almost like another character in the film. And just when you think you know the movie, it flips the script. The Sinners is basically 3 movies in one. First, a Jim Crow-era Western, grounded in history and the twins' hustle. Then, boom, supernatural horror hits, with vampires, stakes, and suspense. And woven throughout, a musical heartbeat that ties everything together. This genre blending is genius. Horror isn't cheap jump scares, it's layered with historical trauma and cultural storytelling. The transitions keep you on your toes. One moment you're rooting for the twins, the next you're on edge, and then a blues riff pulls it all together emotionally. The movie doesn't just entertain, it immerses you in layers of meaning. It's rare to see something so bold, and Ryan and Michael make it feel effortless. And finally, you can see Michael's pride shining through every interview, every panel, and every word he shares about this movie. He lights up talking about the twins, the subtle gestures, and the cultural symbolism. You can tell he's deeply invested, not just as an actor, but as a storyteller. There's also this quiet tribute to Chadwick Boseman throughout. Michael channels that same dedication, that emotional depth, into every scene. It's a way of honoring his friend while pushing the story forward. And his commitment to authenticity is obvious. Real-life twin consultants, historical accuracy, and cultural depth. This isn't just acting for him. It's carrying legacy, culture, and emotion on screen. By the end, you understand why The Sinners feels so alive. The Sinners isn't just a movie. It's a story of resilience, legacy, and culture. Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler have crafted a cinematic journey that's thrilling, emotional, and deeply symbolic. Watch closely. You'll find layers that make this one of 2025's boldest films. So, what's your take on this? Drop it in the comments, and if you enjoyed this, hit like and subscribe. I've got way more coming your way.